Hello everybody, my name is Gravity and welcome to Random Question Generator. I'm just gonna answer some random questions and it looks like there's already a question here up on the screen, which is what fictional place would you most like to go to? I suppose it would be the Avatar The Last Airbender world, because I'd like to be a bender. But with my luck, I'd probably be a non-bender. And then I'd probably wish to be in a world where there were only normal people and no benders, because I would feel left out. But if I was a bender, I'd probably be the least compatible with my personality type kind of bender. So I'd probably end up being like a firebender and being like horrible at it. And accidentally setting things on fire. Okay, next. What's one place you've traveled that you never want to go back to? What's a place that I've been to that I never want to go back to? That I never want to go back to? That's a little harsh. Where have I been? I guess I never want to go back to the LA airport and walk outside into the 1,000,000-degree weather, because I don't remember which trip I was going on at that point, but I think we were like coming back from, it wasn't Australia, was it? Anyway, we were coming back from somewhere below the equator, and it was winter there while it was summer in the United States. So we were bundled up like when we got onto the plane, because it was cold there and it was cold on the plane. And then when we get to the airport in LA, we walk outside and we're all going to die. So yeah, I never want to go back there. What's the last book you gave up on? What's the last book you gave up on and stopped reading? Do you want to see my shelf? My shelf of books that I keep wanting to read and I keep starting to read and then not finish reading. So the last book, though, I don't know if this technically counts because I don't have the physical book. I've been listening to the thing that isn't a physical book, the audiobook of is it Prince Harry? His book, I think, is called Spare. I've been listening to that one on my commute to pick up my kids from their school and from work. I stopped listening to it for a while because when my kids are in the car, they yell at me if I try to listen to anything other than the Toy Story soundtrack. So I have about 30 minutes to actually listen to a book when they're not in the car with me. But lately I've been listening to podcasts and getting caught up on those podcasts. But now that I'm caught up on all the podcasts that I'm listening to, and I just need to keep up with them weekly, I can start listening to that book again and finish it. What's your go-to dance move? The I don't know what the heck I'm doing move. Because I don't dance. I don't dance. Not seriously, anyway. I work at a daycare, so I dance the chicken a lot, but that's about it. Mountains. Mountains. I'm scared. I'm a tiny bit scared of the ocean, only because it could eat me, and my bones would never be found. The ocean is very awe-inspiring. It is massive. I think it's pretty amazing that even on our small planet in the middle of an even greatly vaster universe, there is still something on our Earth that we have not even begun to fully but fully explore. And that's cool. But I'm one of my fears is fear of drowning. I don't want to drown. I don't want to be caught in a hurricane. It's just the ocean is big. The water damage, the cost of living around the ocean. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Some places maybe it's not expensive, but just like, it seems like it's a lot of maintenance to live next to a place that could kill you, even though it can also be very nice. I will visit the ocean every now and again, like to go to the beach, but I would say mountains. I've actually never been to the mountains, but I would like the mountains because they are far away from the ocean. Are there mountains close to the ocean? There are mountains in the ocean. Anyway, I pick mountains. That's the end of it. What story does your family always tell about you? Oh, good Lord. Probably something dumb that my parents say all the time, and I'm sick of them repeating it. But I thankfully can't remember what it is. But I promise you, as soon as one of my mom or dad start talking about it, I'll be like, yeah, you told that story before a million times. But I can't think of anything specific at the moment. I guess the God has a big stick story is one that gets told a lot. I was like 5 or 6, and some bank got robbed around where we lived at the time, and my parents wanted to like reassure us that we were safe and that God loved us and was looking out for us and stuff like that, and we're trying to be like good Christian parents. And in all of my wisdom and knowledge of what I thought God was at the time, I imagined him as like kind of like a shepherd type guy with like a beard and how they show him in like the Sunday school classes and the shepherd's staff. And so I just pretty much imagined that's what he looked like. So when my parents were trying to tell me, it's like, oh, don't worry, you're going to be safe. God's going to protect you. And so my brain was all like, yeah, because God has a big stick that he beats up all the bad guys with. And that just, my parents almost died laughing that day. And they tell that story all the time. There's also another one where we were watching, this is also Christian related. We're watching VeggieTales. And this VeggieTales was the Wonderful World of Autotainment, the one where all of the humor is randomly generated. Phil Vischer really wrote a piece ahead of his time with that randomly generated future humor thing. And there was a point where Larry was all like, it's funny because it's unexpected. And I had gotten up to go do something, and I don't remember what it was, but I just like darted into the kitchen, and I slipped on a grocery bag, and I pretty much like a cartoon character slips on a banana peel, slipped, and then just like landed flat on my back, and that alone was funny. And then I stood up like the comedic genius I was and said it was funny because it was unexpected, and then everyone died laughing. So that's 2 stories that my parents tell a lot. Yeah, at that point, I was probably like 11 or 12, somewhere around there. Hey, I already answered this one. I don't have one. Who are some of your heroes? Heroes. I have people that I look up to. I have people that I admire, and are kind of envious of because I want to do things that they do, and I know that I can never do those things because I'm me. And I have other things that I would like to do, and the things they do really don't fit into my life and my goals. But if things happen differently, I wouldn't complain. My heroes. Do I have heroes? Every time I have heroes, I have people that I am currently interested in and I am inspired by. But I don't think I have anyone in particular, like, right now that I would call a hero. Hero. Who is my hero? Yeah, I'm thinking of different people who I am impressed by, I'm inspired by, and I'd like to emulate in certain ways, but I don't know if I would classify them as heroes, because I'm really, really iffy about the hero title, because previously in my life, all of my heroes, or people that I wanted to be just like, were, this is going to make you cringe, they were pastors, because I thought they were like God's chosen like superheroes to like lead people, and I always thought like, oh, my pastor's so cool, I want to be a pastor like that. He's like just preaching the truth, not gonna stand for nothing, he stands for Jesus and all that cringiness. But anyway, and I always got disappointed though, not because I didn't think they were, and hopefully none of my pastors that I knew were creepwads like some have been outed to be. But as I continue to learn and like grow in my own belief, I look back at some of the pastors or people that I kind of like held up on a pedestal, and I suddenly realized that they're just people, and they're doing the best that they can with what they have. I believe, or at least I hope. And sometimes what they have is garbage, and it's hard to get rid of garbage once it's stuck to you. So I try really hard not to put anyone on hero pedestals, just because I don't want to elevate anyone above. I don't want to say God status is like below God status, but like above humanity status, because that's something that's not. It's not realistic. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. You can't just expect a person to always be the best version of what you think they are. You can't always expect that out of somebody. Because I could be like, I totally admire, I'm trying to avoid being a freaking simp for certain people. So I'm trying to think of somebody a little more benign. Okay, yeah, let's say like you're a huge like Albert Einstein fan, and he was a great man who did a lot of wonderful things and was extremely brilliant. But then you find out he never wore socks and he was married to his cousin. To my knowledge, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. And whether it's true or not, you hear something like that about someone you admire, whatever it is, and then you either deny it, or you like try to rethink everything, and then you're like, or you just completely abandon the person, and you act like you never liked them in the first place. But anyway, so yeah, I try not to put people in hero statuses, but there are people who I admire and who I look up to and who I'd like to emulate. What is your theme song? My theme song is whatever the song is for rambling, because that's what I just did for probably 7 minutes, which is ramble about not wanting to elevate people to hero status. Do you ever sing all the time? Every single day. And the reason why it's when I'm alone is because my kids, for some reason my kids hate it when I sing. My youngest daughter likes it when I sing, but my oldest son and my middle child, they want me to shut up, and I don't know why. What song do I sing? I don't want to get copyrighted, but for some reason, not for some reason, I know exactly why. I was having a really stupid bad day about a week ago, and I was listening to my recommended songs, weekly recommended songs on Spotify, and a Jacksepticeye song came on from 2019. It's his Minecraft song called Get Back Up, and that has been my morning, I'm gonna get through this day, everything's gonna be fine song since then. And I turn it on in the morning, and I listen to it, and I'm like, okay, let's go. We're gonna have a great day. This isn't Minecraft. I don't have to die, but when something stupid happens, I can get back up, and we can move forward. And I can hum the song in my head because it's really hummable. And I right now, that's my favorite song. And but yeah, there's tons of other songs that I sing randomly, but that's the one that's at the forefront of my brain currently. That is my earworm at this moment in time. What dumb accomplishment are you what? Oh my gosh. What dumb accomplishment? This happens all the time. I will do something and I'll be all like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself that I did this. And when it's so stupid and it's like, nobody cares. But if it was in the moment, I would know exactly how to answer this. But I don't, shoot, come on. What's something stupid that I'm proud of? Don't say something dumb like my children. Come on. Oh, I made a thing for my classroom at the daycare, and I work with 2-year-olds. And the thing with 2-year-olds is they ruin everything. They touch things and it dies. And it gets broken, it gets wrecked. So, but at the same time, it's recommended and it's encouraged that they're able to touch and mess with things, like for sensory play and for like interaction. But doing that's just, it's also going to shorten the life expectancy of certain objects and things in the classroom. So I made a thing. I made it's a plywood thing with a not plexiglass, it's like plexiglass-ish like cover, basically a picture frame that I slide that I slide posters into, and I put it on the wall, and it's great, and it works, and all the other teachers like loved it. And it's so stupid because it's basically just a picture frame, but I built it myself. I got the plywood, I painted it, I put the thing on there. I didn't drill it into the wall, the maintenance people did that, but I assembled all the parts and I brought it in. So yeah, that's a dumb accomplishment that I'm proud of. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of more. Who inspires you to be better? Who inspires me to be better? You know, lots of people inspire me to be better. You remember how I said that before I would put pastors on a pedestal and then I just realized they were just people? Well, I do have a pastor currently, and I am self-conscious and I try not to put him on a pedestal, but he's a pretty awesome dude. And when I say that, I don't mean he's a good preacher. I mean, he is a good guy. Some of the things that he does for his church, and just for like the community in general, are really great. And I'd say he really inspires me to be better. And then there are, it's just some actually YouTube influencers who I just feel like are super genuine people and really use their platforms to really spread a positive message. And they really inspire me to be better. And just anytime I see a kind person do a kind thing for a kind reason, it's inspiring to make me be better. I'm not impressed by fancy things, or I guess like all the things that I guess people think glitter, but I'm inspired by other people's kindness. No matter who does the kindness, I'm inspired by that, and it makes me obviously also want to be kind, and I want to be one of those inspiring people who do kind things and inspire others. What's your earliest memory? My earliest memory, and I've been thinking about this. I don't know how old I was, but I couldn't have been older than 4 because of where I lived at the time. I was being babysat. And it's weird because my first memory is actually a dream. I remember falling asleep, or I assume I fell asleep. I woke up and I wasn't in the place I was before. I was being babysat and I fell asleep and had a dream that I was tumbling through the air, kind of like an acrobat. And then I woke up and I was in my bed, which I wasn't in previously. And so I just kind of figured that dream was my parents picking me up, or my mom or my dad picking me up and taking me back to the house and to my bed. So that's my earliest memory, is a dream of me tumbling through the air. All right, I'm going to click this one more time, but I'm not going to answer the next question. I'm going to leave the next question up to you guys. What's something you learned in the last week? Let me know something that you guys learned in the last week in the comments below. All 8 of you who actually watch my videos, because I see the view count. And yeah, so thank you everybody, and bye-bye.